The Raiders were the first team I rebuilt since I've been doing rebuilds seriously, so revisiting them today is gonna be fun. But super quick before we get into a breakdown of the team, thank you guys for 250 subscribers. And like always, I know it's not a lot, but you gotta start somewhere, and it's only up from here. So if you wanna be an OG of this channel, be sure to drop a sub. And again, let's shoot for 30 likes on this video. We've been pretty easily hitting that within the first day or two. So if you appreciate the length of the videos and the amount of videos I've been putting out lately, be sure to drop a like and a sub. And big shout out to It's Donovan DLSR for the suggestion. True OG of the channel. Go drop them a sub. Their link will be in the description. I already dropped them a sub. And if you want a shout out just like that one, comment down below what team I should rebuild next, or what type of rebuild I should do next if you've seen an interesting one that you want me to do. Because if you suggest it, I will probably do it, and you will get a shout out. But that's enough plugging. Again, just like, sub, turn on notifications, comment down below, and I will probably shout you out eventually. But let's get into today's video, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Hello everyone, it is Brandon the Simp here, and today we are rebuilding the Las Vegas Raiders. Now obviously this is one of the teams that had a very good offseason. Picking up Devontae Adams, Chandler Jones, I even thought the Jayon Brown signing was very good. Traded for Rock Ya-Sin. This team definitely improved, and they already had studs on their team like Josh Jacobs, I think Hunter Renfro's good, Colton Miller, Darren Waller, Max Crosby obviously. Denzel Perriman, I believe, made the Pro Bowl last year, which is interesting. Trayvon Merrick was a very good safety last year. So this is a very good team, but there are some questions with this team. So just in the past week, Richie Incognito and Denzel Good retired. So they are left with pretty much nobody at guard. And also, obviously, the biggest question of this year is going to be, can Derek Carr find success for a full season? I mean, obviously there was that, I think, 2016 season where he was an MVP candidate. It was a really weird year. Like, the MVP candidates were him, Marcus Mariota, I believe Andy Dalton was one of the ones, and then like they all broke their leg in the same week or something like that. At least Carr and Mariota did. I don't know, that was a really weird football year. I think most of us have tried to drop that out of our memories. But we will have to see if Derek Carr can succeed with his college teammate, I believe his next door neighbor now, Devontae Adams, the best receiver in the NFL. And not to mention, they don't have bad players outside of him. Hunter Renfro's a very good slot receiver, one of the best route runners in the NFL, next to Devontae Adams. Keelan Cole, I think, can play. Demarcus Robinson, if I can get over to him, I'm not a huge fan. Tyron Johnson, I think, is good. So this team definitely has some weapons. Another area of concern is the defensive line. It is very thin, and even then their starters aren't all that good. Jonathan Hankins was very good for the Giants, but that was like 5 years ago. Bilal Nichols can play. Victor Butler is a bust. Tyler Lancaster's whatever. Andrew Billings can play a little bit. But outside of those guys, you really don't have anything. You have Kyle Pecco, Kendall Vickers. Like, this D-line group is shaky. I don't know if they're going to play Cleveland Farrell there, because he is a bigger player. He's not a great fit for a 3-4, but we'll just have to see. But without further ado, let's get into year number 1 of this rebuild, and I will see you guys at the mid-season point. Alright, here we're actually going to trade Daron Harmon to Minnesota for a 5th and a 7th next year. Look at this division, bro. I know Madden isn't the most realistic game ever, but I do like that all the teams here are doing well. Now, this is probably the opposite of what I would expect this division to be. I would expect like the Chargers and Chiefs to be the top 2 teams, Raiders and Broncos to be the bottom 2. But I mean, it's close for all of them, but here we are 5-2. We have some upgrades here. Who are these going to be? Oh, actually a lot of important players. Did I not turn auto upgrade on? No, I definitely did. Why do we have so many? I don't know, but I'll definitely take it. And we have one of these press conference bye week things. When did they change these? Because just at the beginning of this year, these weren't like this. I don't know what the best one to go with is. I'll go XP stamina. 500 XP, -7 stamina for the next game. I'm fine with that if it's only for one game. And we have some re-signings here. I have no idea who this is going to be. I upped some players' contracts that got him in real life. I don't know if Josh Jacobs got a contract, but either way, I'll definitely re-sign him. Let's bring him back for 7 years. Cool. And the rest of these guys are just depth pieces or like really low-level starters, so I'll think about it at the end of the year. Wow, I want to die. We are the only team from our division that does not go 11-6 and does not make the playoffs. That sucks. Yeah, look, the Chargers, Chiefs, and Broncos are all in there. The Titans are the 1 seed and the Panthers are the 1 seed for the NFC. Yikes. I don't know about all that, but oh, the Jets are in there? Ugh. The Bears? I think the Bears are the worst team in the league right now. Okay, whatever. So Derek Carr was not very good. 3,900 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Where did that rank in the league? So the 25 touchdowns was 24th, tied with Deshaun Watson. Why was Deshaun Watson so bad? So that's not ideal. Our defense must have been amazing. Josh Jacobs was solid, not great. 1,000 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, 13 touchdowns. We had 2 1,000 yard receivers in Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow. Darren Waller did well. Even Keelan Cole did all right. Not many touchdowns though, but it's hard to get touchdowns when your quarterback doesn't pass for any. Ooh, and the offensive line was terrible. Even Colton Miller was bad. One of the better tackles in the NFL, at least left tackles, let up 13 sacks. Alex Leatherwood let up 11. John Simpson was awful, let up 9 as a guard. Andre James even let up 6. And Jermaine Illuminor also almost makes the no sack list, but let up 1. And in terms of defense, we had a ton of tackles. I can tell they were on the team, or on the field a lot. Jayon Brown with 132, Denzel Perriman and Rockison each had over 100 as well. Tackles for loss, we had a lot, which is a product of us being on the field a lot on defense. Max Crosby led the team with 17, and the rest of these players did pretty well. And in terms of sacks, pretty underwhelming, to be honest. 9 from Max Crosby, 6 from Chandler Jones. And then interceptions, we did pretty well. Trayvon Merrick and Trayvon Mullen each had 4, and both are named Trayvon but spelled differently. Jonathan Abram and Nate Hobbs each had 2. A couple players had 1. So, I don't know how to feel. MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes. Who would have guessed? Justin Fields up there, interesting. Offensive Player of the Year, of course, goes to Patrick Mahomes. No Raiders. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Myles Garrett. Maybe a Raider? No Raiders. Former Raider and Khalil Mack. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Kenny Pickett. That's pretty cool. No Raiders. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to JOK. Trayvon Merrick at number 2. No, I didn't mean to close out of it. God damn it. But that sucks that Trayvon Merrick couldn't win it. That would have been a lot of XP and possibly a dev trait. I wonder if we had anyone placed for best receiver. No. We had Max Crosby at number 2 for best linebacker. Pretty cool. Trayvon Merrick at number 4 for best DB. And Trayvon Mullen up there as well at number 8. So that's pretty cool. So in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs take down the 49ers 38-31. A rematch of the 2019 Super Bowl, is that what it was? I think that's, or maybe 2020, but the Chiefs do win this one again. So in free agency, what do I want to do here? The only player I'm going to be signing is going to be Shy Tuttle, and I have a pretty good reason for that, which I will show you guys in a second. This team got a ton of dev traits with important players. So Trayvon Mullen goes up to superstar. Trayvon Merrick, you know, he might have had superstar actually. Let me see. No, he got superstar. Okay, yeah. Max Crosby got superstar. Yeah, right there. And Jonathan Abram got star for some reason. I don't know why he got it. Well, I guess that's not a ton, but that is like some important players. And that's more than I really ever get. Also, Bilal Nichols developed a ton this year. He was one of those camp standout players, and he just kept getting the breakouts, so he's up to a 79 overall. So that's definitely nice. And okay, we do get Shy Tuttle, so that's great. All right, so here in the draft, we have the 17th overall pick, which I don't know why I thought it would be worse. I guess I was thinking we made the playoffs, but no, we had a winning record. We just barely missed them, but let's see who is available here. I didn't do much scouting, so we'll see. I'm going to do something maybe controversial. I'm going to go with a quarterback. We're going to go Dante Goodwin. He's 6'2", 232, 21 years old out of Tennessee. He skipped the combine, which, you know, is a great sign. He is fast and strong, running a 4.71 and 21 reps on the bench, and was first in quarterbacks for 20-yard shuttle, which is nice. He has solid throw power, A throw on the run, A throw accuracy mid. The only thing I don't like is C play action, which I thought would be decent for him considering he's like shorter and a little fast, but let's take him. And he of course has normal, I figured. Only 87 throw power, which is kind of surprising. I thought solid would be a bit better than that, but doesn't look like a bad player. I might be hard throwing in this draft, and I realize that, but Gordon Burton is a round 1 talent corner. I don't know why it felt the need to scout corner when corner was literally like our deepest position. Either way though, you're in a 4-4-3, B awareness, A press, C for both coverages. Let's take him, and he only has normal dev, of course. This might be the worst draft I've ever had, but here we're gonna go Jamal Hancock. He is 23, I wish he was a bit younger to be honest. Ran a 4.97 at the combine, which was somehow second, even though I've seen a 4.71, which was insane, and like a 4.85, so I don't know how he was second. Maybe he's second for the players that are left? I don't know how that works, but 32 reps on the bench is whatever. And this player is really weird because he has terrible awareness but really good play recognition, so I don't know what that shows. B pursuit, which is solid. Let's just take him. He's gonna have normal, yeah. 88 strength is better than I thought it would be. 72 speed is okay. I am pretty disappointed with this draft class. I thought Dante Goodwin would be like at least a decent overall, but he's only a 73. I honestly might just keep Derek Carr, I'm not sure. Gordon Burton is a decent corner, but of course that normal dev is pretty terrible. He is a fast corner, has good press. I thought A would be closer to 80 than 75, or I guess 76 in this case, but still. Jamal Hancock is not good. That's about what I expected. Hold on, I want to see his difference between awareness and play rec. So his awareness is a 58, his play rec is a 77. What is that, a 19 difference? That's interesting. But the CPU low-key picked better than I did. They picked Adonis Patterson, a 70 overall running back, and he is a scheme fit as a power back. We don't really need another power back, but still. And Max Tuner, a 70 overall wide receiver with hidden dev. And he's pretty quick. He's a pretty good deep threat. I like that. Here is a look at the team going into year number 2 of the rebuild, and honestly, nothing here is different. We added Max Tuner, the wide receiver, who I was wanting to call Max Coomer for some reason. I don't know, but he looks like a pretty good player. He's like a mix of a deep threat and a like slot receiver pretty much. Good short route, also good deep route, so I definitely like that. And then the defense here is again relatively the same. I am going to start Jamal Hancock as one of our defensive ends over Vernon Butler, but this is a much improved team compared to last year with the overall, the dev traits, everything like that. Here's a look at the specialists for those who care. But let's see how this team can do, and I'll see you guys for the midseason point. Raiders fans, you might hate me for this one, but we're trading Derek Carr to the Washington Commanders for a first-round pick. So in this world, Carson Wentz wasn't very good last year, and I get in that situation in real life, they probably would have turned to someone like Sam Howell, maybe back to Taylor Heineke or something. But this is not real life, this is Madden, so we're going to give them an overall upgrade at quarterback in return for a first-round pick this year. I just recorded a whole thing and I realized my mic wasn't plugged in, but at the midseason point we are 3-3. But it's kind of one of those things where we have to get worse to get better, if that makes any sense, after trading obviously the quarterback away. But Dante Goodwin, I talked about this in my whole thing. This is a weird year. He is doing very well, but it's weird because he has 18 touchdowns, but only 1,600 yards. That is rare. That is really weird. He only has 1 interception, so it makes me think we're doing just like super short passes, or I have no idea. 8.7 yards per attempt. I actually don't know the league-wide numbers on that. What are they? No, that's actually towards the top of the league. Huh. These are really weird numbers, dude. And Josh Jacobs is doing very well. Devontae Adams. Max Tuner is a rookie. Jermaine Illuminor has a shot in the 0 sack club, or shot to make it, so that's pretty cool. No pass rushers are doing very well, unfortunately. Trayvon Merrick with 2 interceptions so far, so this is a really weird year, and I went over this. We're 17th for yards in terms of offense and 5th for defense, but we're 2nd for points scored, so we just have a crazy efficient offense, and our defense is lower at 15th. So we're good at scoring points on offense, but not good at getting yards. And we're good at not allowing yards on defense, but not good at allowing points, if that makes any sense. This is such a weird year. But we have some upgrades here, and we also have some re-signings. I'm curious to see who would be here. Oh, this is a scary group. So Hunter Renfrow, let's bring him back on a 5-year, $74.5 million deal, and he does accept. Trayvon Mullen, he's been a stud for us so far. Let's re-sign him for 7 years, 106, and he does take it. Rocky Sin, I might honestly let go. We'll see how he's performing at the end of the year. I really don't know how he's performing, but he is already 26. He's only a 78 overall, and he's not going to get much better than that. Maybe he'll get up to like an 80 or something, but I don't know. Jonathan Abram has really surprised me, and he's cheap. I'm not a fan of him in real life, but here he seems good. And the rest of these players I'll probably just meet with at the end of the year. There are quite a few though, but a lot of them are just depth pieces. So with that, let's see how we can finish out. We were actually slightly worse this year, going 8-9. Why was that? Because I know quarterback was not an issue at all. Dante Goodwin was amazing as a rookie. 4,600 yards, 34 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions as a rookie. Are you kidding me? Low completion percentage, but you take that with everything else he did. Josh Jacobs, 1,100 yards, 17 touchdowns, no fumbles. I mean, the yards aren't super high, but pretty damn good year. We had 2 1,000-yard receivers, and our tight end got close. Devontae Adams had almost 1,300 yards with 7 touchdowns. Hunter Renfrow had 1,100 yards with 14 touchdowns. Darren Waller had 900 yards with 7 touchdowns. And the rookie Max Toomer had almost just 3 yards away from 800 yards with 3 touchdowns. Even Josh Jacobs did a little bit in the receiving game. In terms of blocking, though, I think I found the problem. How did our quarterback only throw 4 interceptions with this type of pressure? I don't know. Alex Leatherwood is absolute dog. I mean, I didn't think he was a good player coming out in the draft. I thought he was like a 3rd round prospect. The Raiders said fuck it and took him in the 1st round. But Colton Miller's disappointing with 11 sacks. Andre James that's probably the worst center season I've ever seen in this game, so we're gonna definitely get rid of him. The guards are good though, John Simpson and Jermaine Illuminor, so those 2 will keep, but the other 3, or at least 2 of the other 3 positions were changing for sure. For tackles, Jayon Brown led the team with 124. Bilal Nichols had the most tackles for loss with 14. And in terms of sacks, Max Crosby was very good with 10.5. Other than him, though, not really anything. Chandler Jones, only 5 sacks. Shai Tuttle was okay with 4.5. That's fine, especially for a DT. Only half a sack away from Chandler Jones. So we'll make up the scenario here that Chandler Jones is getting double teamed while Max Crosby isn't. I don't know. We'll just make that excuse for him. Trayvon Merrick led the team with 4 interceptions. Jonathan Abram with 3, that's not realistic. Jayon Brown and Nate Hobbs each had 2. Jonathan Abram is kind of what people think Jamal Adams is. Like, he's really bad in coverage. He isn't even great in run defense. I didn't love him coming out, but I thought he would be a little better than he has been. I believe he's going into a contract year this year. We'll see if he eventually does break out, but I'm not a very big fan of him, to be honest. But let's check some yearly awards. So it seems like Patrick Mahomes wins MVP literally every season. There used to be some variation, but for some reason now it's Patrick Mahomes and only Patrick Mahomes. I don't know why. Dante Goodwin placed up for MVP as a rookie at number 8. That's amazing. Offensive Player of the Year, of course, Patrick Mahomes. Dante Goodwin at number 6. Tom Brady on the Texans. That is the last team I would expect him to go to. That is the definition of curse. Someone pointed out in the last video that he was on the Jets. I think I missed that, but dude. Jonathan Grenard up there. The Texans have a few players. No Raiders up here. Offensive Rookie of the Year, of course, goes to Dante Goodwin and Max Toomer at number 2. That was a great year for rookies on offense. And even Adonis Patterson, is that the name of a real person? I swear I know someone with that name, but he comes in at number 5. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Keish Keyshawn Allen. That's an ugly name. That's a bad name. I don't like that. I don't know how to say that. Keyshawn Allen of the Texans wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Just add an A in there, bro. Make it Keyshawn. That's a cool ass name. Keyshawn. I'm sorry if you're named Keyshawn, but I don't like it. And another the Texans had a hell of a year, even though they went 6-11. That's a really cool Super Bowl. I like that Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl for the third time, the Eagles beat the Bengals 35-21. That's a really, really cool one. I've never seen that one. And Dante Goodwin does get some upgrades. If he didn't dev up, I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna force it. He deserves it. He's been a stud in his first year. Okay, he does dev up to star. So I think I'll re-sign Foster Moreau just to be our backup tight end. I had him a little low in my actual rosters at only a 69. I think he's a better player than that, but we'll definitely re-sign him to be our number 2 here. Jay Cox just to be like a backup guard, whatever. And should I re-sign Rocky Sin? So he had no interceptions, only got 3 pass deflections and allowed 27 catches. Yeah, I think I'm good. I'll pass on that one, thanks though. Trayvon Mullen was absolutely terrible too. Only 4 pass deflections, 55 catches allowed, no interceptions. That's not ideal. Nate Hobbs was good though, but he was in the slot to be fair, so I don't know. In free agency, we actually have 60 mil to work with. That's part of the motivation for trading off Derek Carr. Oh fuck. Oh, I have no reason to do that. No, that wouldn't make any sense. DK just extended recently. He shouldn't be here. Okay, never mind. I won't do that. Everything is telling me I shouldn't do that, but I kind of want to do it. Call me boring, call me whatever you want, but we're not making the biggest moves, but these could be some important moves here. We're going to be going after Bobby Okereke, I think is how it's pronounced. That's what I thought it was, and then I heard people say Okereke, so I said Okereke, even though that didn't look right to me, and then apparently it's Bobby Okereke. Dude, I don't know. I can't keep track of some players' names. That's a weird last name. But he has a superstar dev here, which means he had to have gone up to superstar dev, which means he had to have played well. So I definitely want to get him in here. Plus he'll develop pretty quick. I don't want Divine Diablo starting, even though I do think he's a good player. He's not a high overall here. Grady Williams is going to be our third corner, our second outside corner, I guess, technically, with Nate Hobbs in the slot. So hopefully he does better than Rocky Sin. And then we're going to get Dalton Reisner to play at right tackle for us. I don't know what I'm going to do with Alex Leatherwood, probably just trade him, and then we will find a new center in the draft, but I think this is a really good free agency class. Hopefully they can sign. Okay, and they all do sign. This is a really nasty team. I'm not going to show it quite yet. I'll just show it in the opening of the next year, but this is a disgusting team now. Also, I offered Bobby Okereke 6.9 million signing bonus and 6.9 salary per year, and then a 4.20 signing bonus because I'm super funny like that. I feel kind of bad. So the Commanders ended up with the number 5 overall pick, which obviously ended up being our pick because we traded Derek Carr to them. I want to see, how did Derek Carr do this year? Was that trade even remotely worth it for them? Not really. I mean, he did okay. 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions would be solid for real life. Bad completion percentage. But this is Madden. I mean, his stats should be a lot better. We kind of scammed them. I feel a little bad, but also I kind of don't. And we'll probably whiff on this pick anyways, let's be real. I think I'm going to take this trade from the Titans right here because we actually have the 12th overall pick, so we still have a pick in this range. I was thinking about trading down with the Texans for 2/4. That would be only 2 spots. Actually, should I do that? That's not bad. No, let's just trade down with the Titans because there is a chance that pick next year, I mean, at least it'll at least be better than the 31st overall pick. I mean, they have to make the Super Bowl to get that, so that's kind of an either way, it's better than what's advertised here. So let's take it from the Titans because I really wasn't liking anyone in that range. And here we're gonna go Brandon Brooks. Elite name choice, although it is spelled a little different than mine. Left-handed, just like me for real. He ran a 4.85 as a defensive tackle, had a 31.4-inch vertical jump at like 301 pounds or whatever he is, so that's nice. Was first for 20-yard shuttle for defensive tackles, at least for the defensive tackles that are left. And he has A finesse moves, solid awareness, play rec, block shed, and that's all we really know about him. I don't love that he's a speed rusher. I kind of wish he was a power rusher, but either way, he looks like a very good player. So let's take him, and he does have hidden dev. Okay, good. That's huge. Defensive line and offensive line, obviously, were really our only two holes left. Pause. But yeah, that's a huge pickup for our team. Here we're gonna go with Mitchell Smith. He's a 21-year-old center out of Mississippi State. Not super strong with only 31 reps. He did do a bit better at his pro day wow, I can't speak. He did do a bit better at his pro day with 34 reps on the bench. Ran a 4.95, so slightly better than his 5 flat at the combine. But look at those A's. A, impact block, pass block, run block power, pass block power, nothing below a B for blocking. This dude's amazing. Let's take him. He'll probably have normal now that I said that. No, he is very good at 69 speed. Nice. You'll love to see it. I wish his agility was a little bit lower so he could have a double nice, but he looks like a very good player. Should be a great replacement for Andre James. And you guys know me at this point, man. I love stocking up on as many centers I can get my hands on. Pause, I guess. But Bryson Fowler, again, only 21 years old, is first for centers that are left with 35 reps. A, impact block, A, pass block finesse, B, awareness, B, lead block, C, run block, which isn't great, but I mean, in the second round, after we've already gotten 2 good players, let's just do it. And of course, he does have hidden. Looks like an absolute stud. I wish I could take 1 agility away from that last guy we took and give it to this guy so they would have both 69 agility. I'm really mature, I swear. So for some reason, the CPU thought we needed corners, so that was the position it fully scouted. But I'm not too mad it did that, because this George Banks guy looks really good. He's a 2nd to 3rd round talent, which if you didn't know, the talent thing is guaranteed to be in the, I think it is. I mean, it seems like it is. I guess I don't know for sure, but that's what it always appears to be. He ran a 4.34 at the combine, 16 reps on the bench, so he's relatively strong and very fast. Bad awareness, good press, decent man, bad zone, so he is definitely a man corner, only 21 years old. I think this guy will have hidden. I guess I don't know for sure. That would be my guess. Even if he doesn't, he's fast. He's very young, so he has a lot of room to grow. Let's take him. And okay, he doesn't have hidden, but I'm not mad about that. This guy looks very good. Alright, so here's a recap of the draft, and honestly, I'm a little disappointed. So Brandon Brooks ended up being a 73 overall. I moved him to defensive end. He was a 73 at defensive tackle anyways. He does look better than his overall is, though. Maybe that's just because of the morale, but he has 86 strength, 83 power moves, 76 finesse moves, so he's good at both pass rushing moves, so looks like a good player. I don't know why his overall is so low. Mitchell Smith, I think, was our best player at a 74 overall. Really well balanced player, better run blocker than power, but is good at pass blocking. Bryson Fowler isn't very good though. I thought he would be a decent player, but he's only a 68. We're lucky we got a dev trait with him. I'm surprised he did have one. And George Banks, the corner, looks okay. He's a 71, which I thought would be a bit higher, but he is very fast, has a decent press. And then I picked these 2 running backs because they had some attributes that I liked. Like this guy had really good carrying, and I think it was a pretty good 40 time. And then this guy had really good receiving ability and decent ball carrier vision, which definitely both do show here. And then I simmed the rest of the draft out. This Michael Huff guy. Wasn't there a safety named Michael Huff? Oh yeah, and he was a Raiders player, so I guess that kind of works out. Here we're gonna be trading former Raiders 1st round pick Alex Leatherwood to the Broncos for a 3rd and a 6th this year and next year. Good riddance. Expect some trades later on in the season, but for now, this is a look at the team going into year number 3. Now, I'm gonna do another year with this team. I'm gonna go to a 4th year. I'm gonna try to do that in my rebuilds from now on, for the most part. Sometimes I just don't have the time to do a 4th year, but I always try my best if I have time. And I do have time here, so we will definitely be going into a year 4, and this is a good team to go into a 4th year with. We had a lot of dev ups and like surprising dev traits last year. For starters, Max Toomer had Superstar Dev. I don't know if he started with that or if he got it or what. No, he just had Superstar Dev. I don't know if I said star. I meant Superstar. So Max Toomer has Superstar. He just had it. Hunter Renfro dev'd up to a Superstar Dev, so that's huge. Obviously, we saw Goodwin dev'd up. And something crazy is Trayvon Merrick went up to Superstar X Factor. What does it say the reason is? Oh, it just says staff week dev trait increase. I don't know, he didn't win an award or anything, I guess just from playing super well. So let's see how this team can perform with hopefully a much improved offensive line, a much improved defensive line, and just a much improved team overall. Well then, I'm starting to think this division is just too tough, but we started off 2-0, taking down, I believe, the Texans and the Packers, which, you know, one of those is kind of cupcake, kind of a Mickey Mouse win, but the Packers, even though they're not the best overall in this game, they still play pretty well. I'm definitely going to trade away Andre James here. This is his first offer I see, and there are some pretty good ones here. Let's take a third from the Eagles. That sounds about good. That sounds about right. But let's see what's wrong with the team. I have a feeling it's the offensive line again. Dante Goodwin isn't doing as well this year. Good amount of touchdowns, good amount of yards, but a lot of interception. 7 already. Josh Jacobs isn't doing as well. Oh my god, Hunter Renfro with 658 yards already. Our offensive line is doing very well. Colton Miller and John Simpson have each allowed 0 sacks so far. But in terms of re-signings, we actually kind of have some big ones. Darren Waller I definitely want back, but 5 years? Well, it's not gonna matter anyways, we're just doing 1 more year. Okay, and he rejects it, alright. Chandler Jones hasn't really done anything for us, I'm not gonna re-sign him yet. Bilal Nichols has been definitely a decent player, probably the most surprising breakout from this rebuild, so we will definitely get him locked up. Jayon Brown, I think he's been alright, we'll re-sign him just because. Shy Tuttle, he's been okay, we'll re-sign him too. Just a lot of okay, somewhat disappointing players here. I'll probably look to re-sign Jermaine Illuminor, even though he isn't starting anymore. John Simpson, he's been amazing these last couple of years. Was terrible the first year, but the last couple of years he's been good. The rest of these players are just depth pieces. We'll decide about that later. Apparently we have some kind of 9-8, 8-9 curse. Like, mediocrity is just forever the Raiders' curse. I swear to God they've been around that for the past, like, I don't know how long. Hold on. So 2024 in this world, we go 9-8. 2023, we go 8-9. 2022, we go 9-8. In real life, 2021, the Raiders went 10-7, which is very close. 2020, the Raiders went 8-8, which is like the equivalent of 9-8 or 8-9. 2019, the Raiders went 7-9, which is kind of like 8-9, just obviously with the extra game. So the Raiders are just kind of stuck at mediocrity, apparently. I don't know if we need a playbook change or what we need, but this ain't working out so far. Okay, I definitely don't think we need an offensive playbook change. Dante Goodwin had 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 64% completion percentage, which isn't great, 105 passer rating. Josh Jacobs was very good, 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns. Hunter Renfro had 1,400 yards and 10 touchdowns. Devontae Adams, 1,100, almost 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns. And Max Toomer had 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Darren Waller even had 869 yards, nice, and 6 touchdowns. That was a great receiving year. Oh my god. It looks like our offensive line took a slight step back. What happened to Dalton Reisner? How do you let up 14 sacks as a right tackle, 79 overall? I mean, I thought 16 as like a 70 overall was a lot. That, I don't know. John Simpson had 0 sacks in the first half of the year and let up 7 in the second half of the year. Mitchell Smith had like 2 sacks in the first half of the year, let up 7, or I guess 5 more in the second half of the year. Colton Miller let up 5 in the second half of the year. This was just a really bad offensive line once again. In terms of defense, Bobby Okereke led the team with 115 tackles, Jayon Brown just 2 behind him, and Nate Hobbs just 3 behind Jayon Brown, so that's interesting. Max Crosby and Bilal Nichols each had 17 tackles for loss, and that sucked. Chandler Jones has 14 sacks. That really sucked, because now I don't know what to do with him. What do I do here? We'll reassess in the offseason. I want to see where he played exactly because I'm going to put Max Crosby there. Max Crosby with only 7.5 sacks, so they kind of switched this year for some reason, maybe because it's a contract year for Chandler Jones. I don't know if that happens in Madden, but still. Brandon Brooks had 5.5 sacks, so he's a potential defensive rookie of the year candidate. What's his dev trait? Just star. Okay, that's fine. He's still a good player. Bilal Nichols, only 3.5 sacks, but that's not really his thing, I guess. 17 tackles for loss. Only 4 total interceptions on the year. Oh, that's ugly. It might be time for a defensive playbook change because we were really good in terms of offense, 2nd in offensive yards, 24th in defense. 11th in points scored, so not quite as good. Last in points allowed. Okay, we need a new defensive playbook. MVP goes to, who would have guessed it, Patrick Mahomes. That's exactly who I had in mind. Dante Goodwin comes in at number 6 for MVP. That's really nice. Number 3 for Offensive Player of the Year. Nobody. Oh, actually, Chandler Jones at number 10 for Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Max Montgomery of the Titans. Taj Ward, one of our running backs we took, comes in at number 6 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't even know how he got that high, but I'll take it. Brandon Brooks only at number 4 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I thought he would place closer to like top 2, but I'll take that he went up there at least, that he got up there. That kind of sucks for us. In the Super Bowl, the Packers take down the Broncos 37-22, but I believe we have one of the Broncos picked. Well, it's an interesting Super Bowl, kind of a boring one. Those teams are just kind of boring to me. I don't know why. Broncos sure do know how to get blown out in the Super Bowl, though. That's for sure. Well, I guess that's not a blowout, but still, my point stands. Okay, so Darren Waller, obviously, he wants more money, so let's see. Let's offer him about this. I didn't realize he had such a like team-friendly deal in real life. He's only making like $8 million a year, which, you know, I wish I could make that money. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, for a tight end of his level, he should be more in the like 15. I don't know what tight ends actually make, but like 15 mil range, somewhere around there at least. Chandler Jones wants 15 per year. Oh, he actually takes it. Okay, that's cool. I'm fine with that. Jermaine Illuminor, 1 year, 3 mil. I guess I'll do that. We're not going to have much money left, though. John Simpson, I think I'm going to let him walk because of how he finished last year. This might be a sign and trade type of thing. We'll see. I feel like I'm a weird person when it comes to free agency. I could have stopped that sentence at when it comes to free agency and it could have still been valid. But either way, this is a pretty decent free agent class. However, I'm kind of just adding to what's already good on our team. DeMarcus Lawrence, we're only offering him 2 years, about 18 million, but I have seen him win Defensive Player of the Year in this game quite a few times. We don't have enough money to offer him really any more than this, but if we can get him, I guess I have a little more. 48 total points. Okay, 2 years, 18.1. But yeah, it would be nice to have a combination of him and Max Crosby and Chandler Jones, just as a cool like trio of stud pass rushers. 2 older ones. And then Laviska Shenault, we're gonna add as our 4th receiver. I'm a big fan of him in real life. He's kind of like I don't want to call him a mini Debo because that's kind of lame, but like that's kind of what he is. I thought he was a stud at Colorado, right? Colorado? Yeah, Colorado. And, you know, as a Washington State fan, I kind of remember him beating up on the Cougars a couple times. I think while Gardner Minshew was there in that one of the best college football seasons I've ever seen. But either way, let us see if we can get those 2 players. Okay, we get Laviska Shenault. That is exactly what I expected, but we have not gotten, not Chandler Jones, DeMarcus Lawrence yet. Okay, and the Titans are bidding on him. Unfortunately, we're just gonna have to let him go. There aren't really any cuts I can make, unless I wanted to cut Dalton Reisner, because he was terrible last year. Let's actually just offer Javon Hargrave a contract, 1 year, about 8 mil. He would immediately come in and start at defensive tackle. I like that. And he, of course, does accept that. All right, this is kind of disgusting at this point. We have the number 6 overall pick. The Rams have the number 1 pick, which is weird, and then the Seahawks have the number 2, so apparently the NFC West is dog this year, but I mean, we have the number 6 overall pick after doing, I mean, even though our team doesn't really translate to wins, we have a really, really good team. I mean, what are we? We're on 86 overall. Oh, and Dante Goodwin went up to superstar. I never saw that. That's actually busted. Any other dev up? Unfortunately, doesn't look like it, but our quarterback is definitely one I'll take. But here with the number 6 pick, what do I even want to do? I think I might go with Jonathan Fitzpatrick. There isn't really a pass rusher here who looks amazing, but this guy looks pretty good. I like the A finesse, A tackle. We're in a 4.68, which is pretty good, with also 30 reps. That's pretty decent. B awareness. The only thing I don't like about him is the D power moves, but I mean, I don't know, he looks pretty good. Let's just take him. And he does have hidden. Okay, that is huge. 85 speed, 85 strength. I'm surprised with how big he is. He doesn't have any power, but looks like a really good player. Obviously, we're gonna play him at edge, not as a 3-4 D lineman. I don't know if this is the right move because we already kind of have a lot of offensive linemen, but Terry Parker looks really good. He's 6'6", 215, only 21 years old, out of Ole Miss, did that say? Yeah, Ole Miss, left-handed. There are a weird amount of left-handed players. But he ran a 4.86, 32 reps on the bench. I had an addiction to offensive linemen, specifically centers, and now I have an addiction to interior defensive linemen. We're gonna go Nick Bruce. This guy looks like a freak. He ran a 4.77, put up 38 reps on the bench at the combine. Ran a 4.75, put up 40 reps on the bench at his pro day. Was first for defensive tackles in 20-yard shuttle with a 4.79. This dude is a freak. A play rec, only C pursuit, B finesse move, B block shed, but those athletic traits, oh my god, we have to go with him. Yeah, of course, he has hidden dev. 80 speed, 92 strength at defensive tackle. 80 speed with 92 strength. Name another player other than like Aaron Donald with those attributes, and maybe Teron Armstead. Those are the two that come to mind for some reason. We are gonna go with at least one lineman though, Quinn Schmidt. He's 6'4", 22 years old, out of Utah. Ran a 4.87 at the combine and put up 35 reps on the bench. So he has another big athletic freak. A run block, A impact block, so very powerful guard. The reason I didn't go with the other guys because he didn't look very powerful in terms of his combine. He didn't put up many reps on the bench, and the only things we knew about him were speed attributes, like finesse attributes. So I feel like he could have been a player that had like C's or D's for power, like run block power and pass block power. So I didn't want to take that risk, but this guy isn't a very good finesse player, but that's okay because we need power blockers. So let's take him, and he of course has hidden. 76 speed, 90 strength. I just said name a player as much of an athletic freak as the last dude, and this guy gets pretty close. This was easily my best draft class so far. Jonathan Fitzpatrick is a 75 overall. Let me see what he's gonna be at defensive end, or linebacker, aka edge. Probably like a 74. No, still well, let me see. Yeah, still a 75. Okay, cool. Apparently I put him at the wrong position, but that's fine. Okay, so that's really nice that he still stays at a 75. Nick Bruce is a 76 overall, 96 strength with a +4. That's crazy. Imagine if he had +4 speed too. This guy is insanely good. I don't know where he's gonna play, but either way he's good. Quinn Schmidt is a little disappointing at only a 71 overall. Good strength, good run blocking, just good power in general. I picked a random safety and he looks very good. Well, he wasn't completely random. He was just the first one I clicked and he looked very good. He's a 73 overall, so that's pretty cool. And this was the last pick I made, Anthony Ellerby. There were no good receivers. This guy was just decently fast, and I saw he had bad route running but good catching and like possession abilities, so I was like, whatever. And he's actually a 71. I thought he'd be closer to like a 68 or something, but he's good. And then the rest, the CPU picked absolutely nothing. Fuck me. A 62 overall 3rd round pick. Yeah, that's great. Here is a look at the team going into the 4th and final year. This is an amazing team. We're an 86 overall before the season has even started. We have an 89 overall offense. I believe the best offense I've ever created was a 91 overall with the Eagles. And it seems like my offenses are always much better than my defenses, which is an interesting thing. I guess because offense is more important than defense, but I don't know. It's not a conscious, it's kind of a subconscious thing that I do that. It's not really intentional. But this offense is absurd. I'm guessing Devontae Adams isn't the best receiver in the NFL anymore. No, he's actually number 2. I'm surprised he isn't lower, so he's still the 2nd best receiver in the league at a 98 overall. Hunter Renfrow, where does he actually place? Number 22. And Darren Waller is still a top 5 tight end as well. Dante Goodwin is number 18 for quarterbacks. I'm surprised he's not higher. He plays top 5. Josh Jacobs is top 10. Colton Miller is number 7 for left tackles. Like, we have some studs on this team. And if you didn't notice, I switched our center last year, Mitchell Smith, out to right tackle because he has a really good build for tackle, and and Dalton Reisner just didn't work out there, so I moved him back inside to guard, and we're starting who I started at guard last year in Bryson Fowler at center. So we'll see how all this goes. If he sucks by the midseason, I'll put in Quinn Schmidt, but we'll see. Also, be proud of me for remembering the name Quinn Schmidt, because I never remember names. But this defense, I am shocked it is only an 83 overall. I don't know how that is. For starters, we have Trayvon Merrick at a 90 overall superstar X Factor, Max Crosby at a 94 superstar, Trayvon Mullen at a 90 superstar, Bilal Nichols even at an 85 star. Like, this should be at least like an 85, 86, I would think, but apparently not. I guess just we don't have a great number 2 corner, a great strong safety, an overall great D-line. Like, I guess I get it, but we have some stars on this defense. Not to mention the 2 rookies in our front 7, so that's great. But this is gonna be the last year, so if you have made it this far already, I'm just gonna plug. If you've made it this far and you haven't liked the video and subscribed yet, why? You must be enjoying it if you're all the way here, so be sure to do that, because it helps me out more than you could imagine, and I would appreciate it a ton. And it literally takes you like 2 seconds how long I last with your mother. I don't know if that's a flex or like I don't know, dude. Either way. So yeah, if you did enjoy, especially turn on notifications for my channel, because a lot of people see my videos only once and then never really get recommended them again or never see them in their recommendations, so notifications are helpful. But I'll stop plugging. Let's get into year number 4. Why does Max Crosby look like an actual ghost or like albino or something? But let's get into the year, okay? I'm tired. It's like almost 11. It's not that late, but I'm still recording this for some reason. I hate EA. I hate Madden. This game sucks. At the midseason point of year number 4, we are only 2-4. What's the problem? I'm about to bench like everyone who's doing bad on this team. What's the problem? Okay, well, Dante Goodwin is having probably his worst year so far by a lot. Only 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns is okay. 5 interceptions, only a 62% completion percentage. Josh Jacobs is doing fine. Receivers are doing all right. I am going to bench John Simpson. He is getting the bench. And how about on the defense? Chandler Jones is doing well. Max Crosby is doing not very well, and we have 3 interceptions on the year. Okay, we are benching Jonathan Abram and Greedy Williams, I think. And of course, we missed the playoffs at 7-10. The line wasn't even necessarily any worse than it has been usually. Dante Goodwin just honestly sucked this year. 27 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. I'll go over the stats really quick. Josh Jacobs did very well. We had 2 1,000-yard receivers. Darren Waller had 9 touchdowns. In terms of defense, it looks like we had a lot of pressure. Max Crosby with 13.5 sacks, Chandler Jones with 9, Brandon Brooks with 6.5, and he went up to superstar early on in the year, so he is a stud. Nick Bruce even had 5.5, Javon Hargrave with 5.5. We had a ton of pressure. A lot of tackles for loss, just no interceptions. That's an unfortunate end to an otherwise really fun rebuild. But either way, I think we built an amazing team, whether it performed or not. We're up to an 87. What is it when I put in the best roster? Still an 87. They didn't play very well, but this was a very good team. I'm genuinely like annoyed with how this team performed. But either way, if you did enjoy today's video, if you made it all the way here, you are a stud. Let me know if you made it to the end, because you are goated, and I won't have sex with your mother if you made it all the way to the end. But if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to drop a like, sub, turn on notifications. Let me know what team to do next, because if I pick your comment, I'll obviously drop you a sub, and I'll tell everyone else to drop you a sub. So it's a win-win for both of us, you know what I'm saying? But again, of course, 30 likes on this video, and I will have a new one out on Monday. But thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you guys again in the next video. Goodbye.
I wonder if there's more out there.